What's up guys, Oilver DeLotto here with Genesis Drum and Bugle Corps. I'm here to show you some quick tips on the traditional grip that will hopefully get you band ready for this upcoming year. I'm going to break this down into two parts. First, I'm going to show you the grip, and then I'm going to show you a little exercise you can do to develop power within the grip, right? Dexterity within the fingers, and with, of course, fluidity of motion. Before we start, I'd like to take a second to just honor and respect the history of the grip. I think it's very important. So think way back in the day to these military snare drummers. Right? They would drum on these big giant drums on the front lines, right? That were held up with this leather strap, also known as a sling that went across your body, right? And because that sling went across your body, it created an angle, right? Therefore, the drum was on an angle, right? It was on this angle tilt, sometimes even looking like this, pretty severely, right? So this grip was developed to sort of accommodate for that angle. Now, over time, things developed, drums flattened out, or they didn't. It's all good. Some groups still rock the tilt, okay, but nevertheless, rudimental drummers still hold traditional grip to this day. So how do we go from this, notice this matched grip, the most universal grip on the planet, to this traditional grip? Well, put your sticks down by your sides and take your left hand and imagine you're reaching for a door handle on the refrigerator, or you go out to shake someone's hand, right? You would make this hand shape. Now take one stick, put that in the webbing of your left hand. The webbing is the space between your thumb and your first finger, and hold it there pretty securely. Right? We're going to call this the fulcrum of the left hand, or the focus point of the grip. Next, take your ring finger and let the stick rest nice and naturally next to the nail bed of your ring finger. Right? There should be this fleshy part right here. Right? Then take your pinky and just sort of mimic it. Right? It just rests gently underneath. Now we have three more fingers that still need a home. You have your middle finger, your first finger, and your thumb. Take your middle finger and your first finger and curl them, and just rest those gently on top. And then the thumb, make that connection with your first finger so you have this T grip. So if you did this correctly, right, the underside of your grip should look like this. Okay? Now, when I was first starting off with the grip, I had a teacher who told me to put my hand up like this. Right? And he used this skier analogy. I love this analogy. Right? He said, imagine if there was a skier at the top of your shoulder right here. Right? And he had to ski down the slope and off the ramp, which was your thumb. Right? He would go down your bicep, through your forearm, and then up the ramp, which was your thumb. Okay? So, all that to say is your thumb needs to be either straight or curved up, but never bent. No bent thumbs, guys. Bent thumbs equals N-O-T, good, not good. Okay, so go ahead and look at the grip, right? And practice taking the stick out, making the grip, stick out, making the grip, make this feel comfortable, right? And if you notice some gaps in the left fingers, it's all good, right? Eventually you're gonna wanna work to close those gaps so you have a pretty left hand going on. Right? So how do we play now that we understand sort of the hand shape of the grip? Now I always like to start off with my students taking the stick and making putting it in the webbing, right? And just isolating that, taking the rest of the fingers off, right? And we work on an exercise what I call the paddle, right? So the paddle works on this power of rotation. Okay? You can turn the med on, play some quarter notes. Our goal here is to make sure the stick goes down and up, right? It bounces or rebounds off the head using this rotation motion. Okay? Okay? So at first, the stick might wobble around in your hand a little bit, right? It might come out of the webbing, right? That just means that your fulcrum isn't quite strong enough yet, right? This is a very different motion for your hands, you're not really accustomed to doing. So just practice doing this. You can play some eighth notes. Right, play some doubles, triple strokes, all with the goal of developing strength within this rotating motion, right, and letting the stick rebound naturally. Okay, we want it to kick back up. Okay, once we've practiced this using a bunch of reps, right, then we're ready to add the fingers. Right, so once we've, like I said, mastered that, then we can start adding our first finger, right. Our middle, our ring, and then eventually the pinky. Okay? We don't want the fingers, though, to get in the way of the natural rebound of the stick. like within this motion. Okay, so I used to take both my sticks, put them in my hand like that, right, and then leaving my arm out straight, right, but never locked, right, just straight like this. I would push my stick away from my body like that, sort of hold it here for maybe 10 seconds a day, right, and then next day repeat that, maybe add a few seconds, right, and add a few seconds, right. What this does is this develops flexibility in these tendons down here, right, and allows you to turn your wrist, right. You've probably seen a lot of snare drummers that can't really turn their wrist that well. That means they haven't spent time like actually working on the rotating motion. Okay? So guys, I promise, if you just start with the basics, like anything else, you're gonna see results, right? Basics, basics, basics. Thank you guys so much. Enjoy, have fun.